tuning into our webinar today on the Buy Before You Sell program. We are teaching you how to use lending to leverage and gain more listings and up your real estate game. It's all about leveling up, you guys. And we have just the tools to be able to do it like this Buy Before You Sell program. And in a few moments, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Sam with HomeLight. He's the head of lender relations and the investor that I utilize for this amazing program that they have. I'm going to read you a testimonial and I'm going to show you the power of this program. And I received this testimonial this morning. Let me dive into it 1 second. Here it is. Okay. Hey Marissa, Stephanie's clients in Austin, Texas needed more space for their home business. They listed their current home, accepted an offer. They made a winning offer on a 5-acre home outside the city. Just a couple weeks before closing on a new home, the buyers of their current home backed out. How often does that happen, right? Think about that. That is so stressful for a seller, right? They are in escrow, they want to close on their home and they can't because they can't sell their house now. So what are they going to do? They're either going to back out of their current home that they have an offer accepted on, or they're going to shotgun and take up an offer that's going to come through on their new home. It just causes a lot of problems all around. We all know that. Here's the testimonial from the agent. HomeLight was truly the light at the end of the tunnel for my clients. They provided an excellent experience in enabling my clients to close on their dream property after they had the buyer fall out of contract. Within 2 weeks, we were able to close. After shopping multiple programs like Buy Before You Sell, HomeLights was the most cost-effective, transparent, and easy to work with. We are deeply thankful for the service and the client experience that we had. Here's the facts. After the buyer on their current residence terminated days before closing, Stephanie's clients needed a solution to move forward with their new home purchase. They didn't have time to wait for a new buyer. The client's loan officer submitted their client's documentation for the departing residents for the Buy Before You Sell program and had an approval within 24 hours. The lender relations team approved that property and was able to unlock $695,000 of that home's equity within just a few hours so that they can have the down payment to their new home. They didn't have to cancel it. Imagine what that can do. It's amazing. And we're going to go over that program in detail with you right now and answer some questions at the end of this. So let me introduce you to my friend Sam. Sam, take it away.
We jump into the next slide, we should be able to kind of go over the major benefits of the product. We have a few major propositions, right? The biggest being that we're a modern bridge solution, providing clients or pending sale contingent clients with a solution to move forward on their new purchase mortgage, right? So we know how many buyers come into the market and need to do something with their departing residents. So why not give your gift, or give your clients rather, the gift of Buy Before You Sell?
Right.
We have three major propositions, right? We're a contingency buster, or I should say you're the contingency buster, right? You're going to be able to remove your client's pending sale contingency before they submit their next offer, helping them to win faster, save money on their next offer, right? Actually win the home of their dreams rather than sit around and wait for their pending sale to actually go on the market. Buy Before You Sell allows your clients to win quickly and save money on their next offer. Marissa here is able to omit the departing resident's mortgage liability directly on their debt to income ratio, right? How powerful is that? I'm sure everyone here is I'm sure everyone here is sick of lenders kind of going back and saying your client has a 75% DTI. You need to do something with that departing residence. And that's what Buy Before You Sell does.
Yeah, all you're doing, you guys, on this is virtually qualifying for your new mortgage. We completely omit that other mortgage payment like it's not even there. That's the best part of this program. You're going to qualify for more.
Exactly. More home, better home, nicer home. And then kind of saving the client from having to sell their home pending sale, right? Or buy their home pending sale. Just so you know, we accomplish both of those through a backup offer we place on the property. We don't want to buy the client's home, but we place a backup offer on the property to remove the pending sale contingency and for Marissa to omit the liability. On top of that, we provide a 0% interest, no monthly payment bridge loan called an equity unlock that your client should use as a down payment on their next mortgage. Marissa hinted on this, but you can use that equity unlock or that 0% bridge loan however you see fit, including minor repairs on the property. You can replace a carpet in the living room. You can fix up a bathroom, right? To truly maximize the sales price of that departing residence. You can even use it to help stage the property or even pay for moving costs. So obviously a powerful trio of propositions here.
And that's exactly what happens, you guys. So the very first step in qualifying is your client's gonna send us information on their property. We get 10 pictures, he'll go over all of that fun stuff. But we have the option to overfund. That bridge loan it's like a line of credit almost. So that gets wired directly into escrow. You know, my last client, I made sure that she had $35,000 extra in reserves for her mortgage payment because she knew she was gonna be listing her other home. So she still had that mortgage payment on her home. We make sure to overfund it so that they have enough financial stability to cover all of their expenses for moving, if they want new carpets, whatever it is that they want, we can utilize those funds for it. That's their equity.
Many of our clients use these to help spruce up their listing. Obviously a massive benefit to the product in general. So
Absolutely.
Marissa's kind of the quarterback here. We're the third party to the scene. So when your clients or you have questions on these deals, Marissa is going to be their direct point of contact, right? Instead of sending your client to an iLender and just hoping the iLender doesn't mess it up one way or the other. You've been in business with Marissa for years, I'm sure. I'm sure Marissa has done millions of presentations. You see her influence, right? I love watching Marissa's LinkedIn presentations. They're fascinating, right? And so it's always good to be here. But that being said, it's a good thing that she and her team are going to be the main points of contact for your clients. We kind of sit in the background, give you and Marissa the tools you need to support these pending sale contingent clients. So the transaction is about as simple as you could imagine, right? It takes about 24 hours to get that departing residence approved. We tell you, your client, and Marissa, all the numbers you need to know to decide if your client wants to move forward or not. As you can see, we break down the equity unlock. That's the bridge loan. And then we tell their client what our backup offer is going to be written for. We'll go into backup offer in a second, but let's let your client shop without a pending sale contingency. Even if they didn't have any money in the bank before, they can use the equity in their home to use as a down payment on their next home. Let's say they go under contract. Boom, beautiful. They close on their new home and their new mortgage using our equity unlock, in the scenario 125K, climb into a new mortgage. And then they sell their home at full market value, right? So we talked about the benefit of maximizing the sales price, but let's talk about why using buy before you sell gives your clients all the benefits of selling their home technically before they even list it, right? So one, we're going to remove their pending sale contingency. Like, can your client even win in your market with a pending sale contingency? Or what's the dollar cost or the percentage cost of actually submitting a pending sale offer on their home? What's the cost of trying to sell your home in 15 to 25 days, right? Because your client went under contract, they need to do something with that home. So they have to quick sale it and chop 15K off the top right off the bat, right? Compared to another HELOC in the market, right? What's a HELOC sitting at? 11%, 10% if you're lucky, if you can actually get one.
Oh my gosh, yeah, too much. And you
Affecting
can't
your
put a
DTI.
value on the emotional stress of all of this, right? So I had a client that was pregnant. Oh my gosh, buying a new home construction. That was awful. But you can't put a value on stress, right? So this literally makes it a stress free process. You don't have to shotgun it and accept the first offer that comes on the table. That's big value alone. You can take your time, take that 90 days. If HomeLight has to step in, they've only ever stepped in and purchased one house, you guys. And they've closed hundreds and hundreds of these transactions. So to only purchase one home after that 90 days, you know, that's, if you're listing the property right, it's going to sell, especially if you can find value in taking some of that money to fix up the property, to make it a little bit more presentable, to get that seller a little bit more money when they do go to sell that house, right? So that's huge benefit right there.
Yeah, I always emphasize backup offer, backup offer, backup offer. It's a backup offer because we are just putting it on the property to remove the pending sale and omit the liability. We want your client to sell during our 90-day program period that starts the day your client closes on their new mortgage. At that point,
So how
we
much
collect
is the backup offer, Sam? How much is that, hun?
So the backup offer is technically just based off the mortgage balance plus the equity unlock or whatever liens are on the property, usually around 70 to 75% of the home. But what we have is upside protection, right? In a worst case scenario, we buy your client's home for 75%. We relist it using you as the listing agent still, right? We do not change the agent. So we relist it using you as the agent, and the client receives the excess funds once that home actually sells. So
Right.
while we are putting backup offer on your home and we may have to buy it, the client has upside protection, right? And that's kind of what separates us from a lot of the competition is one, we want your client to sell in that 90-day time frame. But if we have to, we'll still use you as the agent and the client still receives the upside.
And we'll go over, because a lot of people are going to have questions on that. So we'll go over that at the end of the presentation, because I know we touch on
Yep.
that quite a bit. Okay, next.
So 24-hour turn times for approval, as I mentioned, it all starts with Marissa. You would forward the client's information to Marissa. She'll do her traditional pre-approval, business as usual, and then she'll submit a loan officer questionnaire directly through our website. As soon as she submits that, we'll send you and Marissa a copy of the agent property questionnaire. We just need that and 10 photos, and boom, within 24 hours, your client is approved, right? So even on a Thursday, your client's in a pickle. By Friday, they're accessing the equity in their home. They're shopping without a pending sale contingency. Boom, Saturday, they win the home of their dreams.
Right. Why would somebody not be approved? Why would somebody not be approved for the house? We're going to go over that. Okay. Right here.
Yeah, we do have guidelines. Good timing.
Yeah, we do have guidelines, so we're going to go over that.
Yeah, so home value, somewhere between 250 and 2.5. If you have someone at 3 million, we can still take a look. We're not going to deny it because of that, but we just need to do extra homework, right? Needs to go from primary to primary residence in order to omit the liability. Can't do second home to investment property or investment property to investment property. Needs to be primary to primary. And it also needs to go into a conforming high balance or a jumbo loan. And that's regarding the new loan. I actually have some updates here. We're in a lot more states now, so I'll make sure you get an updated map, Marissa. And we can go up to 5 acres now. So obviously,
Yeah, they work on conforming guidelines. They want to make sure that whoever is purchasing that home that they're selling, they qualify based on conforming guidelines. Sorry, Sam.
That's exactly right, including non-warrantable condos, or condos need to be warrantable, excuse me. But the rest of our guidelines are actually pretty standard with Fannie Freddie's kind of repertoire. So pretty straightforward here. Marissa knows the majority of these as well. But if you have questions when you're submitting a client, that's what we're trying to figure out during this approval process. Like, is this going to work or not? And we won't approve somebody if it's not going to work. We really just want to make sure the house is going to sell in 90 days, right? Because we don't want to buy it.
Right. Now, do you need like inspections, all that fun jazz on their
Yeah,
department?
so once your client goes under contract, that's when we begin kind of the fun side of things and start working on paperwork. We'll go directly through Marissa for a few items. Mortgage balance. Does the client have proof of homeowner's insurance? Can you send us a copy of the credit score? And we also at that point order an inspection on the home. We want to make sure it's the home you advertise to us as the agent. So it's important to kind of do your due diligence, because we will do our due diligence once your client goes under contract, right? We want to make sure the roof's intact. We want to make sure there's cupboards in the house. The doors are intact, right? We want to make sure the home is going to sell basically as is, right? And that being said, the majority of buyers would be interested in this home, not just a select group of investors or someone who's trying to buy a fix and flip or whatever.
Right, because they don't go and get an appraisal on this property that they're selling. They're gonna go based off of whatever you, the agent, lists the property as. And that's the beauty of this program. You know, they do want to see, it's not gonna work if the house is not in livable condition. It needs to be in livable condition. But if you wanna upgrade it, you can after we close escrow.
Yeah, thank you, Marissa. Yeah, so a lot of our clients actually do that, where they'll do a 10-day repair and fix up the bathroom and replace the carpet in the living room and maximize the sales price of that home. And when you kind of take advantage of all the propositions of the product, our 2.4% fee, it's a real estate transaction fee based on the sales price of the home, becomes more and more friendly, right? Compare it to the pending sale, compare it to the HELOC options, compare it to trying to sell your home occupied with your dogs running around. And all of a sudden 2.4 is typically the client's best option.
Especially if you're, as a listing agent, doing this the smart way. If you're gonna go to somebody and say, hey, I'm gonna increase your home by $100,000, let's take a look at this equity unlock. 2.4 is an easy price to pay for them to net that difference. You know what I mean? So it's all on how you communicate this to your client when you're bringing this to them as leverage.
Messaging is everything, right? And when you use the product the way it's designed, the product really sells itself. As long as your client's a smart shopper, they really understand the benefits, and it's really an easy pitch once you kind of break it down for them and break the numbers down for them and compare it to the other options.
Okay, what's next?
This is just a sample agreement, right? We want your client to understand the process. We want them to understand the numbers. So during that full approval phase at the end of the 24 hours, we'll give your client, you and Marissa, everything you need to know, whether to make a decision or not, right? Technically, your client can sign this agreement and still back out, but we're breaking down the upside protection. We're breaking down the loan payoff value, which is our mortgage balance, or excuse me, our backup offer. And then, of course, breaking down the bridge loan and how that works as well.
Right, and this is what I give to the listing agent when they want proof of funds, right?
Exactly right. Yep.
Every listing agent that I've had a conversation with loves this program. This got me more agents to work with than anything, just having a conversation. They're so impressed by how this works.
So just to kind of go over some common FAQs, right? The program fee is 2.4% based off the sales price of the home. But what we're providing the client is the ability to remove the pending sale contingency, omit the liability, get them into a new mortgage, and then a bridge loan. The bridge loan can potentially go up to $2 million, right, if we have to. The equity unlock is our 0% interest bridge loan that the client should use as a down payment on the new purchase, or technically, however they see fit, right? Repairs, staging, maximize the sales price, moving costs. And our 90-day backup offer is based off the liens on the home. That's all it is. It's just whatever liens on the home. We buy the home if we have to, sell it using you as the listing agent still, and then client receives the upside protection. And if the home is already listed, even better. If your client's already under contract in a new home and they need someone to step in and save the day, even better. We work fast, we work efficiently, we save a lot of deals for people that way. So if you have someone that's already under contract and needs to do something with their pending sale, obviously we're happy to help. And so that's it, really. I'm sure we're happy to open it up to a Q&A here. Marissa, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go over some question and answers. JC, if you're there, could you please ask ask the questions that are in the chat? Oh, there they are. Did we have any questions in the chat today?
You know, I just saw a couple. Let me see.
Okay,
Oh, nope, just you, Marissa. Sorry.
just me? Awesome. Okay, did you have questions? Hey. No? Okay,
I do, Melissa. What's the time frame look like for the loan process?
Okay.
Are you still close in 30 days?
oh, less than that. I mean, so the process is very simple. This is a conventional loan program that they're doing on their new home purchase, right? This Home Light program all has to do with the sale of the house. They're already approved for the loan and in that one inspection. I've already gotten them, you know, the information that they need to get approved. And it's literally done in like 24 hours. They have everything wrapped up from me. So that process is so smooth. I don't even know that it's there. And that's just because we followed the instructions up front. We did an extra good job on our pre-approval and made sure that that's just gonna go through quickly. I remember my first one that I did, I was like, oh, it's tough doing new things when there's another third party involved in it. And that's where your funding's coming from. But they did an amazing job at streamlining everything. And so I literally closed my first transaction on this in 11 days. My very first one in 11 days. It was that fast. And my lender was that fast that I used because I am a broker. So they are really, really great, super smooth transaction to work with, super streamlined, and it's just a conventional loan. So
They fund
they fund the home equity line, that 0%, the down payment.
Okay.
So I don't have anything to do with them during the processing of our file, other than if they need something, they'll let me know while they are doing their portion. By the time I called them and said, hey, I need the funds in escrow, they wired it as soon as I needed the funds in escrow, and that's the only time they heard from me.
And the fee is only 2.4%.
2.4% on the list,
That's insane.
and it's paid at closing.
How is there not a ton of liability through Home Light? Like, how did they not hold a bunch of liability? Because I was just talking to a contractor who does stuff like this, but the agent was a new agent and the ARV was completely wrong. So they thought that they could remodel it and sell it for like 1.3. They didn't sell it, they sold it for 750,000. So the contractor was not paid, and then he had to, out of his own funds, pay all of his people.
Wow.
And so how does that work when the market's constantly changing? Like,
Well,
right now it's really funky.
So when Home Light goes in, right, Sam, to fund this transaction, the amount of money the client is getting is 75 to 80%. They say 70 to 75, but I've gotten it at 80. So, I mean, they work with you, right? So, because they want to be able to help people. They really want, these investors truly want to help people. So what they do is they're going to send that money in. They're going to have money to pay the contractor. The client still owns the home for that first 90 days.
Right.
So they're going to go in and make sure, and that listing agent, if they're the ones that they're saying, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and they're laying out that roadmap for them, they need to do their due diligent job in making sure that the contractor that they're using is a reputable contractor, so something like that doesn't happen.
Right.
Because hiring contractors probably one of the most difficult things you can do.
They're flaky.
They
and I know I work with a lot of them. Yeah.
So having somebody that you can work with, those are the types of people you want to in your business introduce to your clients, right? So, but there's no liability to Home Light because they're going to step in. They've already approved to purchase this home after 90 days.
Okay.
If it doesn't sell.
Okay.
And then you've got another 120 days to sell the transaction for the client. So that's a lot of time.
Is there any vetting of the agent themselves? Like, I mean, so a brand new agent might not comp a house well, they might not,
No,
okay.
but I am a 20-year experienced
So you
loan
can-
officer
Okay.
that's going to make sure that my agent knows what they're doing. It's because these are a team. I work with my investor as a team, and my agent as a team, the title company a team, the listing agent as a team. So we work together to make sure there's a smooth transaction and everybody truly understands where that needs to be. And if I got to talk to a seller, which the seller will happen to be my buyer, then I'll step in and do that because this is the program that I'm bringing to them. Right, you're bringing the value, I'm bringing it to them, and as long as that communication is done well between you, the agent, and me, the lender, we will work together to make sure they understand the entire process. And how, you know, if there's a hiccup that comes up, then, you know, there's always gonna be a backup solution, we'll find it together.
Good question. How many of these are closed a month, a year? I don't know.
A lot.
A lot, okay.
Yeah, this is a very, this is a big program that's out there. You know, we want to be able to offer more. Right now, this is a market for this program because people have equity in their homes.
They're afraid to sell.
Yes, they're afraid to sell. Why? Because of contingent offers
Yeah.
and, the competitiveness of it, but this takes it away. Oh, Sam, you're muted, my friend. There you go.
Yeah, I think we've closed just over 700 of these transactions, and I believe Marissa has about half of them.
Oh,
Not
you're
actually,
breaking.
but we're getting there. Marissa's killing it.
Oh, yeah.
No, can you hear me now?
Yep, gotcha. So,
We've
Little
closed
over-
just over 700 of these transactions, and my joke was Marissa's closed half of them, but I missed.
And how long has the program been around?
I mean, I've known about the program for a little over a year. How long has HomeLight been around, Sam? Our investors?
HomeLight's been around for 10 or 11 years, and this product in particular, buy before you sell, has been around for about a year and a half.
Okay. All right, what do we got in our chat group, Sam?
How much equity do you need on the departing residents? I recommend your client has about 30% equity in their home to make this worthwhile, right?
Yeah, so when you're gonna talk to your client, the first thing that you ask, right?
They lend
they're
up to
list-
7.
He's lagging, yeah. Okay, when you go to talk to your client, you're gonna ask them for their payoff, right? What's your payoff? You would be surprised how many listing agents I find, my clients don't even know how much they're netting on their house when they come to me to get pre-approved. That's kind of a big deal. We wanna make sure you know how much they're getting. So you're gonna get a net sheet, seller net sheet, you're gonna get a copy of the listing agreement, or not the listing agreement, that mortgage payoff, and that mortgage payoff, you can tell us exactly what you're gonna list that property for. I can calculate it and say, yes, there's enough equity, let's go ahead and look at this equity to unlock position. We wanna make sure, because all I need is enough money to put on the down payment on a conforming loan. You know, a conforming loan is only 5% down, the minimum that a client needs. So, I hope that answered that question. What's the next? Oh, Sam,
I think he's.
I'm here.
Did we lose?
okay, what's the next question?
I don't see another question in the chat unless I'm missing one.
Okay. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. No question is silly, and you know, we're always thinking of new ones. But utilizing this, the best way, you guys, is definitely going to be getting that equity and showing a listing potential, the value, and increasing the price that you're going to list their house for. So I hope you found value in this little webinar here. You guys online, have a blessed day, and thank you so much for coming.